let's just go back to the beginning and give people a refresher if they haven't watched your episode on GDP, how you got it, how it got its name, your story.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Gosh, it was probably 97, 98. I was living up in Humboldt County. I was out there in Bridgeville, out there on Highway 36. Actually, rewind. I was up there. I just got up there, ended up meeting a couple of roofers who were working on my house. And they were the old guy, they were older. I was in my young 20s. They were, in their 40s or whatever. And I was, very brash, very open. Hey, check out what I'm doing in here. Showed them my grove, and they were like, okay, kid, sure. And it took a long time, and eventually they opened up to me because they saw that I knew what I was doing, and they were having a hard time. Come out to our facility, take a look. I go out to the facility, things aren't looking good at all. They were doing things from seed indoor. Yeah. And so I started hooking them up with clones and teaching them how to grow and blah, blah, blah. And they had come across this cut, they got it from this young guy who just gave it to him, said, hey, give this a try. It's just, the perp. We just call it the perp. And they gave it to me. I mothered it out. I did the first runs of it, in my room, raised bed, living soil. Again, temperamental plant, not easy to grow, doesn't like nitrogen, holds itself up. So I ended up running it for a while, told them, hey, this is a great production plant. It doesn't yield a lot, but it's got this, this flavor to it, this taste to it, this look. It's very unique. Purples are hot right now. They ended up mothering it out, big facility, ended up running a lot of it. And at the time, the third floor in Oakland was like the #1 dispensary place. Right. And I already had relationships with a lot of the different dispensaries in the area. I was moving a lot of Blue Dream back then, Snowcap, Acorn, Mango, a lot of Southern Humboldt County, type strains.
All the staples.
All the staples, especially the mango. That was a big one that was moving around in Southern Humboldt back then.
Yeah, the sativa mango.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think it was Casey Brains mango, maybe. Yeah, and then the purple came along, and those guys, really learned how to grow it and started bumping up the production, and I just started bringing it down here and putting it into clubs as the perp. Yeah. And there was a lot of unnamed strains back then. You had a lot of your Amsterdam strains that had names attached to it. We had a few strains around here that were named, but that was in the time of making up names. Yeah. Basically, and when it first came into the clubs, you had like lavender. I think you might have had Urkel even maybe back then. But you had these other purple varieties that didn't have names. And so you had, purple 1, 2, 3, or 4. Yeah. And so the purple that I was bringing them just seemed to keep standing out. And everyone kept coming back from it. And, like weekly, I'd bring in another batch. And one of the buyers was just like, you know what, you're done just being purple 1, 2, 3, or 4. Like this one always stands out. People line up for it. They know when it's here. They want it. We're going to call it Granddaddy Purple. And at the time, in my young brash attitude, I was saying, I don't care what you call it, just pay me. Yeah. And that was it. It went on the board as Granddaddy Purple. And then from that day forward, all the places that I went to, you had Blue Sky, SR71 down the street. They went to them as Granddaddy Purple. It went to your friend that we were just talking about on Foothills.
The club on Foothill, for sure. I remember they had it there.
Yeah, and so I just started moving it to all these little local clubs, and it stayed that way for a couple of years. And once I started taking it to other clubs besides the third floor, then I attached the name Granddaddy Purple to it. And if you were doing Oaksterdam back in the day, you knew about the third floor. Yeah. They were like, they were the club.
That was the spot.
And so
go get your script, literally downstairs, go get your
script and go upstairs, buy some flour. There you go. And yeah, that's how the name came about, and just ran with it, like that for, from 98. Yeah. I definitely remember that because in, 99, we had the whole Y2K thing. The computers were going to reset everything, chaos.
Oh yeah, everything. The world was ending.
Yeah,
the world was ending.
Yeah.
So what year was it named GDP? Do you remember?
Yeah, gosh, I want to say 2000.
Wow.
99, 2000, because I had had it since 98. Yeah. I was already growing it for a year before the whole Y2K thing, and I remember specifically where I was because a lot of the younger viewers who don't, Y2K was a big thing. Yeah. When we were in our early 20s, like everyone was really concerned about internet was new, blah, blah, blah. And so it was like, I had a room of purple going in 99 for sure.
Yeah.
you know. And it was like 2 years of bringing it to the clubs before they were finally like, we're going to call it this.
Yeah.
And then that was
Just blew up.
just
And
blew up
it's
since
just-
then.